I have a hard time, I guess, when it comes to apologies. I think, especially if you do say something, right? I think if you say something, that was out of line, then yeah, you should definitely own up to that. But I don't know if you should always apologize for what you said because I think that's how you actually felt. You know what I'm saying? But I think you
Yeah,
could change it and apologize more for how you said it and how it was, how you came off, right?
exactly, exactly.
I think that's the biggest, for me to take away from that. Life can be beautiful if you let it.
In the bowl.
Yo, 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 what do you know? Welcome to In the Bowl podcast. I'm your host, Nas.
She got Tallman live from Dubai.
And as always, In the Bowl podcast is sponsored by your nation's own number one mobile hookah provider. They not only do private events, they do wholesale distribution and take that event to the next level. What's happening? Man, oh man, obviously, I'm in the, I got a special studio over here, so sometimes you may hear some of the external elements going on, but I just say it adds to the atmosphere, that's what I say, I like to be one with nature, so, it's,
Exactly.
it's one of those things where, I feel at peace, you know. But but on a serious note though, it's I think as we talk about in the bowl, we talked about in our episode for the year, second episode for the year. Cheers to that.
Yes, sir.
Cheers to that. It's we want to get more also into the hookah thing. So I want to make sure, I kind of see what you're smoking on. You find any new flavors for the new year, or you know?
I'm coming across more and more out here is that Russian shisha.
Mm.
I got a couple different blends that been playing around with, because that stuff is potent. It packs quite the punch. I always equate Russian shisha to Diablo. When you're smoking it, you definitely know that you're smoking something that's gonna punch you in the back of the head. But I mean, the Russian shisha is cool. I like it because they have multiple flavors. I got my lemon mint, so that's cool. But you also got to be prepared and prep, for when you're gonna smoke that bowl. You can't just randomly do it. But that's kind of what I've been rolling with, the past couple of weeks. What about you?
Yeah, nah, man. I think I was trying a little bit, obviously during the season, like last year. We were talking about pumpkin pie, with that pumpkin and some vanilla in there. We talked about the seasonal what I have for the summer, but I think as always, once in a while, I still stick with my my BMW thing. And like it's a beautiful thing. It's like it has that fruity flavor, it has that mint in it, and then again that blueberry is a little more dense. So it's to me it's like that perfect balance, like that sweet and savory. So I think I'm
Okay, okay.
stick with that, but I'm also looking at some other things to mix with it. Obviously, we always say mix it with mint for me at least. And I feel like it always gives that cooler pull, you know. Um, and like when you put ice in the bowl, not in the bowl, but in the base, again it just adds to that. So big on that. So I'm gonna do a lot more mixes with a lot more mint, and see what else we get with it. Obviously the mojito is good. That's a good mojito with the mint. That's a good flavor. So a lot of citrus things are good with it. So I think I'm gonna start experimenting a little bit more on that. Um, and so yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
So that's one of the things that you will not, see too much, out here in the Middle East, because a lot of the flavors you referenced are, U.S. based flavors,
Mm.
from that brand. Because out here is traditionally, more of the basics, like of course, your double apple, your grape, your mint, your watermelon, your orange mint, lemon mint, mint. things of that nature. So I definitely will be hitting Shisha to you up soon,
Yeah.
to get that 2023 care package, or even, when I'm in town next month, loading up that check bag, with some of those flavors, some of my smoking crew out here, I can let them indulge in some of that freshness, so to say.
Yeah. I don't know, something about double apple, man. Ever since even Dave one, something about double apple or just apple flavor, I just for some reason can't do it. Like it's that's a tough one.
Yeah, that was definitely an acquired taste. I think the double apple is the first flavor I ever smoked, and because it has that licorice taste to it. So it's like it's one of those things where either you love it or you don't care for it. It's not really too much of an in between.
Yeah. I don't know. It's something about it, man. For some reason, just doesn't hit right for me. It's just something about that apple. I don't know what it is, but I think that's like, I feel like apple's like everyone's mad dog. You know what I'm saying? That's what everyone gets. Apple. You know what I'm saying? When you first started drinking, you first had your, you know what I'm saying, your 211 or your Mad Dog, and those some rough
Still
days.
reserved.
211, man. That shit was like, that was some biohazard nonsense right there. I don't know how you do that.
Yeah. I mean, looking back on it, it's like wow. But I mean, when you're young and you're just starting out, I mean, you go for you're definitely paying attention to those price points. Trying to make that dollar stretch.
Facts. Got to. What you coming up, right? Nah, man.
Yes, man.
How was your weekend, man? It was a big weekend, obviously, in the States, man. It was a big weekend, especially in the sports world. Still having conversation about it, both in the basketball and NFL. Right? It's been a busy week.
Yeah, man. I mean, the weekend was good out here. This is the first weekend where I can say, we truly, moved around like tourists. On Saturday we took a group trip down to Abu Dhabi. So we got to check out the Grand Mosque down there. That was pretty cool. As we had the VIP package. So we actually got to walk around on the carpet inside the mosque. And that was cool because usually when you go down to the Grand Mosque, it's like you gotta stay behind the rope, so you kind of see things from a distance. But I mean, we got to walk around in there, and that was cool. And checked out the palace. The palace was man, that was just a really awesome experience. Just looking at the detail that went into things, and got to see like I don't want to say the conference rooms, but it's like, I mean, when they have these summits, and it's almost like a baby UN, when you have the different countries, sitting around, on the table with the microphones and all that stuff. So we got to see that set up. Got to see the dining room, where they host dignitaries when they come in. So I mean, that was cool. And then Sunday, I actually went out to the desert, so we went out, did a little ATV riding, did some dune bashing in the back of the Land Cruiser, camel rides. Your boy was doing some sandboarding, and I'm gonna see if we can include that video, into the podcast this week, because I was truly impressed with my talents out there sandboarding, because back in the day, I mean, growing up, when it snowed, I mean, everybody did you get a trash can lid or something, go sledding down the hill, things of that nature. But I had a buddy who was big into skateboarding, so we did, take the wheels off of skateboarding, try to go down the hill, do some snowboarding, so those skills from 30 years ago,
Yeah.
kicked in, when I was sandboarding, because your guy hopped on the board the first time and went straight down the hill. But I'm gonna tell you the downside to that
Yeah.
is the further you go down the hill or down the sand dune, means the longer you got to walk back up the hill. So that walk up the hill was just like a workout in itself, man.
Yeah. And
You
you
know, that
insane
saying.
through workout. And you insane.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you think, running on the beach is tough. I mean, try running up a hill in the sand. That's
Let him move.
so that was pretty cool. But it was good to get out and do, some of the tourist stuff. I mean, we had a, good group of folks with us and, got to check the box. 'Cause I've been here a year, and really hadn't, done some of these tours and things. So that was cool, man. So what about you? How was your weekend?
It was an interesting one, right? It was, you know, the normal, hung out with family, just really chill, man. It was a good little weekend, man. I went to this really good conference. This conference called Break Bread Brunch. It was a brunch, trying,
Okay.
gap, gap the wealth in the African American community. So it was a good brunch. It was small, intimate. It was definitely something that was it was cool, man. It was definitely cool being around like-minded folks as well. Breaking bread. So that was dope.
Okay.
And then obviously it was playoff weekend, right? So everyone knows I'm a boys fan, and
Yes.
it's been tough, man. It's been tough. So we've been having some interesting conversations, right? And we talk about Jerry Jones being the owner, and then how can someone still be a fan of the boys? I mean, that's a tough debate, right?
Yeah.
Which would be for another discussion, right? But at the same time, I think we realize a lot of these owners have a problem with, I would love to see more of us in that power to own, right? Especially of a team.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the actual game, it was a tough one, man. It was my boys went down, and of course, it always makes you just wonder, it's they went in on Dak, they went in on him,
Yeah, they did. They did.
and I don't know, man. I think it's something about that Megatron TV they got. I don't know, something has to be bad aura, what I'm saying? It travels with them, man. Just I don't know if it's not focusing on the game or what it is, but that was a tough one to watch. That was a tough one to watch.
Yeah. I will say, I mean, I do joke around, I mean, every year because, your fan base. I mean, every year is you all's year. Every year y'all look good on paper. Every year y'all are going to the Super Bowl. So man, you all did make it to the playoffs. I will say I was really proud of the NFC East. Because they sent three teams to the playoffs. I mean, so that's big because it just shows I mean how strong that division is. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean it was bittersweet. I mean
Yeah.
watching you all go down because of course I was upset because football, I found like I had just really, found my groove. My guy, games come on at 1, games come on at 4:25, and you got the night games, which I can catch in the morning. So these late start games, these 3:30s, 4 o'clocks, 6:30s, I mean, it really threw my time off. So I was really only able to watch, the highlights.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm mad I didn't get to catch, the whole game, but it did like a painful loss. I was sending my condolences to a number of Cowboy fans, and some folks still ain't responded back, which I get. I respect that.
Everybody got time for that shit, right? Right? You break it down. I don't care what no one says. They lost by 7. So in a perfect world, would have situation. You know what I'm saying? That damn kicker could have just made his damn his field goal to have been 13-19. And if my guy Pollard didn't get hurt, it could have been a whole different outcome, right? But shoulda, woulda,
Yeah.
coulda. That's a perfect scheme. But then it makes me think, right? Everyone's like, so who gonna go for next? I'm not gonna lie, man. Just from the root side of it, it's I want to go for Hurts, man. He's just wearing the wrong colors, man. I just, I'm gonna
I
put that out.
understand.
I'm gonna put that out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm going for my guy, but he's wearing the wrong colors, man. I just can't get past that, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, Hurts is, definitely doing this thing. He's definitely impactful, on that team. And, I mean, as much as I don't want to see Philly, you know, win another one, I really wouldn't be that upset, if they happen to sneak in one more.
I would. I feel some type of way. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. I feel some type of way about that.
Yeah, I mean, you're saying that it sounds like you got a bit of animosity there. Like it should have been us, but again, I mean, I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I don't know about that one. That's I'm having a hard time with that one.
But the rest of the playoffs, man, it should be good. I'm excited about I mean, being back in the States, during the Super Bowl, getting to watch the game at a reasonable hour, and being able to enjoy a beverage and good company, while the game is going on. Because, like I said, I
That,
mean, last year watching it at 3:30 in the morning, drinking a cup of coffee, that was eye opening. It just didn't have the same feel to it, because I mean,
yeah.
how do you watch the Super Bowl and an hour later, you get yourself ready to go to work? Kind of really throws everything off.
They say the Monday after Super Bowl is one of the biggest days that people take off.
And that's true.
It
That's
says one of the
true.
highest days for league.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but another thing, the weather out here. So right now we're in the rainy season, in the desert. And so I was talking to one of my colleagues, and he was telling me that I mean this year the rain we've got, and mind you, it really hasn't been a lot of rain. I think it's really rained like maybe two or three good times. And when I say rain, I'm talking about the majority of the time it's like that South Florida rain, where it rains for like 10, 15, maybe even 20 minutes. And what I mean, if you took a nap, during that hour, I mean, you wake up and someone's like, "Hey, yeah, it rained," and you're outside and it's dry. It's kind of like that. But as we were talking before, we kicked off, you know, this environment really isn't, built for the rain. So the example I used where I was like, yeah, Dubai is like Houston. Where if it rains, the streets are getting a little flooded. I mean, you got standing water, so it becomes an issue, and not everybody is equipped to drive in the rain. Out here, I think it took like 45 minutes, to make a 25-minute ride yesterday because everybody was moving at like a snail's pace in the rain, which I get, because I mean, if you're not experienced in driving it, don't do anything crazy, and now it's gonna take even longer to get home. But
Yeah.
yeah, this weather, man. I'm not gonna complain. It's still, 75, 80 degrees. But yeah, this rain is a blower, man. Had to find my umbrella.
No, I can dig it. I can dig it. I can dig it. I can dig it, man. I don't know, man. Houston, it gets rough out there when it rains, man. When it rains, it rains.
Yeah,
There's no forgiveness out there. When it rains, it rains. So I can dig it. I can dig it, man. But it made me get into one of my thoughts, man. I've been really thinking about it. We talk about it a lot, how words have power, right? And you know,
okay.
um, I don't know, made me think we were talking about some things that happened. So a lot of folks are talking about, what happened with the Lakers and the Grizzlies game.
Mm,
And when they, I saw the next day there was a confrontation, obviously with Shannon Sharp and some folks on the opposing team, and just talking shit at first, but then how it gets out of hand,
yeah.
and then the next day he sends an apology, You know, and then it even makes me go back to all that, you know, nonsense Kanye was talking, right? And I think Kanye has good points, great points. You know, and I think a lot of people have great points, but it made me start really questioning: is it really what you say, or is it how you say it?
Mm. Okay.
You know, so you know, I've really been thinking about that. So what do you think? You think there's more value on what's being said versus how you say it, and you think that's something where people can just lose the interpretation of.
Definitely agree with that. That, you know, I mean, how something is said, whether it be, you know, the tone, whether it be the use of words, whether it be the body language, whether it be, you know, I mean, in person or, you know, text message, you know, things can definitely be taken, you know, the wrong way, and the message can be lost, you know. So
Yeah.
you know, I fully, you know, support and, you know, stand on it. It's, you know, it's how you deliver something. You know, sometimes, you know, you may be able to, you know, take a step back and, you know, I mean, soften up a message where it doesn't come off so abrupt or so aggressive, or, you know, things of that nature. But I also think that, you know, I mean, that's when those conversations afterwards, you know, really have a lot of weight, because the person gets to, you know, talk about, you know, what their intention was. But at the same time, that person also can be, I don't want to say called out, but it can be brought to their attention of how their delivery was and how it could have been better. You know,
Mm.
so they see the other person's point of view. So yeah, I definitely agree. And, you know, the delivery of a message, that it makes a huge difference in the words that are being spoken.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. That's why I don't know. I guess I have a hard time. I guess when it comes to apologies, you know, I think especially if you do say something, right? I think if you say something, you know, that was out of line, then yeah, you should definitely own up to that. But I don't know if you should always apologize for what you've said, because I think that's how you actually felt. You know what I'm saying? But I think you
Yeah,
could change it and apologize more for how you said it and how it was, you know, how you came off, right?
exactly,
You know,
exactly.
I think that's the biggest, you know, for me to take away from that. So that's why I say when people apologize, you know, you try to listen to what they're apologizing for, but also,
Yeah.
you know, think in the same breath, you can't be mad at that's how they felt.
Yeah, definitely, man. You can't be mad at, you know, a person's feelings, because, I mean, we're all, you know, unique individuals, and,
Yeah.
you know, that's not really something you can, I mean, you can fault a person for. But no, I do agree that, you know, I mean, you gotta, you know, be cognizant or aware of, you know, what you're apologizing for. Because, I mean, you're right. I mean, the words and, you know, what you said, it's how you felt, even though the delivery, you know, could have been, you know, I mean, dressed up, you know, a little better. But no, I
No.
agree with you on that one.
And I mean, I don't even think you gotta, you know, accept all apologies. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may not like what they've said, right? So you may feel some type of way if someone said something to you. You know, you may not agree with it, you may not like it, you know, but um, that's something you gotta figure out, right? That's something you gotta. That's how they felt, right? And it's up to you to determine whether or not ever that friendship, relationship ever goes, right?
Yeah,
Um, but again, like I said, you know, you can't you can look at, you know, how they actually said it to you, and hopefully you can find the message in between there. So I don't know. I just think it's, I don't know. I've always found that real interesting how, you know, some people only listen to the word, and some of it is really about, you know, again, it's an opinion.
yeah.
That's how they felt. That's what they thought. That to them, that was their real. That was their perception. You know, and who am I to judge about someone else's perception, or, you know what I'm saying, how they felt?
Nah, exactly. And I always say, I mean, it's the gift and curse of, you know, I mean, free speech and expression,
Yeah,
you know, because on the flip side of that is, you know, we can express ourselves and we can, you know, talk about how we, you know, how we felt and how we feel about a certain situation. But we also have to deal with, on the other side, how that individual receives the information we're saying, you know, because, I mean, it
yeah,
could be some blowback.
yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, hey, if you dish it, you gotta be able to take it. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can't just, you know, throw your hands up and, you know, walk away. I mean, if it leads to something else, then of course, I mean, that has to be dealt with accordingly.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that, man. That's where it's going, man. But other than that, man, like I said, I think things are just happening, man. Like Cali's on his sixth mass shooting. You know what I'm saying? It's people fucking out here losing it. So we got that emotional intelligence. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild because I mean that was a wild weekend because even I mean the second incident I thought that was relating. I mean I thought it was all one incident, until I
Right.
got to sit down and I mean read more and see more about it. 'Cause I was like, oh man, wow, this is another incident I think that happened like 300 miles away, give or take. But yeah, man, it's crazy. I mean, we always say, things get crazy, around the holidays, with crime and all that stuff going up. But it's like, I mean, every other week or every week, I mean, it's something, where I don't want to, I don't want us to get to the point where, I mean, we're desensitized, behind this, because I mean, if something happens often enough, it's like, okay, another one, you start shrugging it off.
Facts.
So I definitely don't want to see, situations like that. I mean, fall into that category. But yeah, it definitely is a lot. Sitting here watching the news and getting alerts. It's like, man, what is really going on?
Every day, man. It's something, man. It's either a natural disaster or somebody, you know what I'm saying, doing some crazy act of violence, right? It's just crazy out here, man. But that's why I
Yeah,
say, man, it's make peace, you know, make peace.
yeah, definitely. And also, I'm saying, I mean, the DMV, these carjackings, man. It's I'm saying what feels like almost like, two or three carjackings that get reported, I mean, a day, with teenagers and, chasing them, out of the city into, the surrounding areas, whether it be, PG or VA or, I mean, vice versa. It's getting a little crazy, man. I'm looking at the cars they've been taking as well, man. It's like across the board. I mean, it's everything from, 2007 Honda Accords,
Yeah,
all the way up to, I mean, 2022, Mercedes Benz.
yeah.
It's, it's everything.
It's wild out here, man. That's why I say, man, it's just like it's I don't know this carjacking thing, man. I don't know if it's like a game or what's going on, but at the end of the day, man, I don't know. You ever had anything taken from you, man? That shit just feels like a violation. And then it gets to that point too, right? Where can you defend yourself, right? It's especially if it's a kid, right? And if you get, unfortunately, what I'm saying, the youth, I think is they're going through some things too, right? And
Yeah,
so
yeah,
they get bored, and sometimes these are their fun activities, but not understanding the consequences behind it. But then all of a sudden, like they had one case where they had, a young man get shot by an older dude. You know what I'm saying? And how does that look, right? And was he defending himself? Was he not? Did it have to go that far? You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah.
tough, man, on both sides.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, because both sides, I mean, have valid arguments. I mean, the downside of that is, I mean, young man, lost his life, as a result. But yeah, it's crazy, man.
It's like they say, like, should someone lose their life over a car? I mean, that's a hard debate. Because while you're in that moment, how can you ever sit and say which one's wrong, right? It's damn, you have to lose your life, because he was still in the car. You know what I'm saying? We could try to catch him, whatever, whoop. But at the same time, is you don't know what the other person was going through. So I don't know, man. It's just
Yeah,
crazy out here. I know that.
it is. And speaking of crazy, I saw something over the weekend that kind of had me in awe, for a split second. So, I know that there was a Future concert in DC,
Yeah.
And it's a picture, circulating from Capital One Arena. I think that's the name of the arena. I've really lost track of what that arena is called. I mean, MCI Center, Verizon Center, Capital One Arena. It's
Facts.
the down in Chinatown.
Yeah.
The arena where the Wizards played. It was a concert. I'll say that because, like I said, I've lost track. But I guess when they were cleaning up after the show, there was a hookah left behind. And I'm not talking
I
about like a small hookah, I mean, this was like at least a 24-inch hookah,
saw that.
sitting there on the floor. And it's like, hold on, how did somebody get a hookah into the Future concert?
Yeah. I was thinking the
Then
same
later
thing.
on, I saw another video of a young lady smoking a hookah. And she was like,
Saw
oh, yeah,
that.
that was me smoking.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. That's just wild. I mean, it makes me think it's an inside job. Like, yeah, I don't know how you can sneak that in. You know what I'm saying? Like, what size bag? What size? Like, what are you bringing in? And that wasn't even a small hookah either. You
Exactly,
know, that
exactly.
looked like your traditional 14 to 18-inch hookah. Like, that was a nice size hookah.
Yeah. And I saw somebody in the comments. They were like, "Yeah, man, how they change the codes, or how they like the codes, or something like that." I mean, it was just a wild situation, and I heard some rumors about I mean how they got it in there, but I'm not going to put that out on the platform. I mean, we can
Yeah,
talk about that offline. I'm not going to sit here and be dry snitching on anybody and ruin what they got going on, but. I will say that I was impressed. The fact that you can get the hookah in there and smoke the hookah. Well, not even that. You get the hookah in there. You make the hookah, because you got to get, water for the base. You made
yeah.
your bowl, you lit your coals. I mean, that whole process. So I
The whole
was,
process. Where do you get the foil? Where do you get the puncher? What you use your key? Like, you know what I'm saying? We use a fork. I mean, there's a lot of things I know, man, but you got to be resourceful to get into
exactly.
to help you out. The Capital One League. You got to be real resourceful. So
So
I
that
was
was,
impressed. I was impressed though. Nonetheless, very impressed. I was like, damn. Okay. Okay.
exactly. Hats off. And, it made me think back, I mean, to all the, events that I've been to there, whether, you have a suite or, wherever you are, that how that event could have been, I mean, 10 times better if you had a hookah. So
Yeah.
I was a little envious, but hey, I mean, hats off to the young lady and her crew that, got the hookah in there for the Future concert. I'm sure that, it took that experience to the next level.
Yeah. Hey, that's a definition to the next level. That's what I'm talking about. That's the win of the week. Win of the week. Win of the week. That's what's up. Nah, for sure.
Yes, man. And another thing I'm glad about, this time of year is that okay, the holidays are done, so I mean TV is back to TV.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a lot of, shows that have come back. I mean, you got BMF, you got
Mm-hmm.
Your Honor.
Mm-hmm.
I even started watching, I think it's like the Tulsa King, with Sylvester Stallone. I just caught, a couple of episodes of that. You got All American. You got a lot of shows that had kind of like took that winter break
Yeah.
that are back in full swing. So I'm happy about that because I was kind of running Netflix into the ground, with trying to find random things to watch, and you blowing through series in the weekend. So
Yeah.
definitely excited about playing catch up with some TV.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Having a chill, relaxed week. Weekend, some time down, you know what I'm saying? Get yourself recharged. But you're right, man. I am on the BMF and the Your Honor kick right now. So we were just talking about it the other day. Maybe I should just let all the episodes play and wait till the end because those are some binge watching worthy shows right there.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
But I give it
We'll
up to
have
50.
to.
I give it up to 50 for sure, though. 50, 50,
Yeah,
50 is he's a smart man right there. So I give it back. Even when he's causing his controversy, he causes just enough, but he's never too crazy with it, right? You know what I'm saying? And I think he's just honest with his feelings, so I fuck with him. I give him that.
yeah, he's definitely the king of pushing the envelope. Because I mean, you're right. I mean, he knows how far to go. Where he won't go too far, but
Right.
I mean, he definitely, slides that envelope across the table right to the edge to where it may be, teetering or rocking or bouncing or however you want to describe it. But he is a master of that.
For sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. But yeah, man.
And then, and then I guess it was two other things out here. I mean, we had a couple concerts out here with the past weekend.
Oh yeah, yeah, the
Beyonce,
big one out there is big,
yeah,
big, big talk right now.
yeah,
Beyonce's joint.
yeah. Beyonce, did a private show, for the opening of the new Atlantis, which I didn't even know that there was another Atlantis being built, but apparently it's not too far from the older Atlantis. But she was here for kickoff, so
Mm,
she cleared a nice check. I mean,
she got that bag.
24 million dollars, for a 1 hour performance, and she
Got
brought some
that
folks
bag.
with her. And even though there was supposed to be, no cameras and no videos in there, I mean, somebody was brave enough and resourceful enough, to capture some footage to share with the world, and
Yeah,
she definitely did her thing.
it can't be mad. I know there's some other talks about some other issue people are having some complaints about, but she got that bag, man, and I fuck with it, man. I think that
Yeah,
why should, and I guess this is what my issue is. I think Chappelle hits on it, right, and I know I'm about to touch a touchy subject, but I don't know, man. I think a lot of people are having issues because a lot of her fan base is from the LGBT community or Q community, right? And I think that for her to perform out there where I guess it's shunned upon, or I think someone even said it may even be illegal, right?
yeah. It's illegal in the Middle East. Yeah,
Yeah. So I think I don't know, man. I have an issue with just, I'm not gonna say like who cares, but I will say that she got that bag. Like why would you be mad? You know what I'm saying? Like why would
yeah,
you be mad? Because I mean you can still go see it. It's not saying you can't go out there. He's not saying, you can't come into the country. There's just
yeah,
certain things you may not be able to do in public. And if you even think about during, slave time, I mean, we couldn't do certain things in public. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just baffled about, how this always is just an issue, man. Why can't we just celebrate people's success? You know what I'm saying? So hats off.
yeah.
Fucking bad.
Yeah, she did her thing. Then also, I mean, across town, I mean, we had Ashanti, Ja Rule, and Fat Joe. They had a concert out here, so it was definitely a full weekend.
Yeah.
I'll say that much. And I was really surprised that the fan base, for the Fat Joe, Ja Rule, and Ashanti, because just having in casual conversation with people, I I came across a couple of individuals who were talking about the concert that I really wouldn't peg them, for being fans of the artists or even having an interest in going to the concert. So I was just like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think about checking out the show? I mean, hey, I mean that's what's up, man. So it
Yeah.
was, like I said, it was definitely an action-packed weekend out here.
I bet, man. That's what's up. That's definitely what's up, man. I'm glad to see the culture's thriving, man. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, 23 we don't do canceling culture on ourselves. We got enough enemies on that.
Exactly, man. And before we get out of here, I wanted to get your opinion on something because it's something I came across last week, and it goes back to the Young Thug case. 'Cause I think they're starting his jury selection, and that's about to get moving forward. But the word is that someone in the courtroom walked up to Young Thug and tried to slip him something in the courtroom.
That's all that pack. Try to get that pack.
Exactly, and that begs, like, I mean, just all kind of questions of, I mean, going into the court is almost like going into the airport, where the only difference is, I mean, you're leaving your shoes on. But I mean, everything else, you're emptying out your pockets, you're going through the machines, you're getting, checked out. So one, how did they get it in there? And two,
Yeah.
how bold do you have to be to walk across a courtroom and walk up to, the individual who's on trial and try to pass him something?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's the equivalent of trying to tattoo your eyeball. Like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that don't even make sense. It's got to be smart decisions, right? And obviously, contraband and then whatever else gets in, you got to think of another way. Like, that don't even make sense.
None at all, man. I had to watch the video just a couple different times to actually, see if, what I'm hearing was correct. Because just hearing that, I mean, somebody
Yeah.
send you a text message, someone tried to slip him something in court. You're like, okay, whatever. But then
Yeah.
to see the video, it's like, okay, this dude really tried it, man. So it's, I know, another, wild event that happened, man.
Always, always, always. Yeah, that's my thought on it. I think that was just stupid. I think that was a waste of another, you know what I'm saying, another one of us going to jail, man. It's just stupid. It's just
Exactly.
gotta do better. I think that was a waste of that was a waste of one. That was a that was a waste of me to get out of jail. That was a waste.
Oh man, well you see, over my shoulder, you see the sun's coming up, so it's
Yeah.
almost time to get out of here. So what you got going on this weekend?
Oh man, I am chilling, man. It's been a busy kick, man, and when I say the word chilling, I'm not just saying like, oh, I'm about to, what I'm saying, just be the bum around the crib, but I am saying like, get some stuff down on paper, what I'm saying, get some thoughts out there and, make some moves. So it's gonna be a good weekend, man. I'm looking forward to it. We I know they got the DC Auto Car Show or the car show this week,
Yeah, I
so
missed that.
it's always cool to see what's coming out, so take the little one to that. But other than that, man, just cooling, you know.
It's gonna be
Watch,
the second year in a row that I missed that auto show because I was
yeah,
a faithful attendee. Yeah, because I missed it last year. 'Cause remember last year I left out on January the 1st,
yeah,
so I hadn't kicked off yet, and then I'm coming in the first week of February, so I think it's done by then if I'm not mistaken. But
yeah.
yeah, definitely enjoy that, man. I'm gonna live vicariously through you.
Got you,
Let's say take some nice pictures.
got you. Yeah, it should be cool, man. I'm looking forward to that. So that'd be good. But other than that, I'm chilling, man. What you got going on the agenda?
Well, speaking of the auto show, I mean, living out here in Dubai, I mean, every day is the auto show, because every vehicle that you can imagine is, especially, high-end luxury,
Yeah,
vehicles. I mean, you see those on the road, you see them at the gas station, I mean, you see, $450,000, Rolls Royce, parked outside Burger King, so I mean,
yeah,
it's, so I'm missing out, but I'm not really missing out, But this weekend, after the weekend, last weekend, I mean, last weekend was definitely, full, just looking to, just relax this weekend and start, getting some stuff packed up, as I fly out next weekend. So try to just take care of, all the small stuff to get ready for that 14-hour flight, back stateside,
yeah,
getting everything together, because it's always funny, I mean, when you're traveling for work, because you kind of have to, pack like you're living in two different worlds, I mean,
yeah,
on one side of the luggage, I mean, you need the, suits and ties. And then, the other luggage, you kind of need, the jeans and, I guess looking at you all's weather, pack some hoodies and, a coat or a sweater or something, I have to
yeah.
go dig out some winter clothes, clothes I haven't touched in forever.
They got moths on them, mothballs.
Yeah. I definitely gotta be strategic, what I'm packing. I mean, but the good thing about, I mean, where the malls are, how to get around and get out and get things. So it's not
Yeah,
gonna be be a heavy lift. But yeah, definitely a relaxing weekend, man. Not doing too much. You know, I mean, may step out, check out a restaurant, get something to eat or something. But other than that, just laying low, man.
I
Laying
can
low.
dig it. I can dig it. I can dig it. I can dig it. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's gonna be a good weekend.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, as usual, we appreciate you all for rocking with us. Don't forget you can follow Shisha to You on IG. You can follow us on Twitter at In the Bowl Pod. And like we always say, I mean, don't forget to keep those hookahs clean. I mean, after every use, go ahead and rinse it out. So that way your prep work is halfway done when you get ready to fire that thing up. And one, you got a clean hookah. I mean, you don't want to be, you don't want to, you don't want your flavors ghosting. I mean, you don't want things mixing. You don't want to, disrupt, your shisha experience. So make sure you keep those clean. So until next week, we appreciate y'all for rocking with us.
And as always, click, like, and subscribe.